right? So I like to say Barakatah Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushua, Bahashem Rakah HaKodash, right? So I'm going to play this video, but before I play this video, I wanted to say, it was a spirit that brought me across this video right after I'm getting out of work. And I just made a video this morning talking on this subject, you know what I'm saying, about these aged women and the generation that comes after these women, right? The woman that comes, or what they would call the millennials and Gen Z, is listening to the madness that she's spewing right now, right? So again, as I said in that video, you women are leading each other into destruction. You're leading each other into destruction. And it seemed like what's going on is that you want the whole world to revolve around you. Whatever you want goes. And that's not how the Lord created things. When you go into the book of 1 Corinthians, the 11th chapter, the scripture says that the head of women is men, the head of men is a Mashiach, Yahushua, who you inwardly call Jesus, and the head of Yahushua Mashiach is Yahweh, which is the Father, who you inwardly call God. So I'm gonna play this video real quick, because this video is bugged out, man. It's bugged out. And again, you women are leading each other.
You don't need a man's permission for nothing. You don't need to confront him. You don't need to persuade him. You don't have to do nothing. He's a stranger to you. Till you're married. Now, I make adjustments for my husband of 30 years because we're in it to win it and we're committed to each other, and he spent his life with me. But this dude has not done that yet. And you're not there. So you don't have to please him. You don't have to give him what he needs and give him what he wants, because you're not there yet. I think you're a wonderful dude. I got nothing against you.
Thank you.
This is just my I was going to say 10 cents, but I'm going to say $20 million opinion about how women need to view themselves as individuals unto themselves. Wow. You're not either a virgin or not a virgin. Yeah. You're not defined by whether a man has entered you or not. You are defined by what you think, what your mind is about your spirit, your soul.
Now, it's a good thing that she's been married for 30 years, right? That's a good thing that she's been married for 30 years, but she's leading other women to destruction, right? When you tell a woman not to listen to her man, right, because, he hasn't put a ring on your finger, or he haven't went to the courts and signed a piece of paper, so you're not going to listen to your man, you're not going to do what your man required you to do, that's going to lead to you and that man separating. Because what? You get up and you go out all night, there ain't nothing he can say about it, because he haven't so-called committed to you, right? Or you go out and you do something, he don't know where you at, or whatever you doing leads to y'all separation, because in your mind you shouldn't have to do anything a man said because he haven't put a ring on your finger, or he haven't taken you to the courts and married you, right? You women are leading each other to destruction, right? You're leading each other to destruction. Now, a lot of you might think and say, well, what's wrong with a woman not doing what a man says until he marries her? Because you're already married through sex. In the ancient world, right, according to the Bible, you are married through sex. That's why when you go into what is that, Genesis 2, I think it's Genesis 2:24, the scripture says, shall a man leave his father and mother and shall cleave unto his wife, and they shall become one flesh. How the hell do you possibly think that happens? How do you become one flesh, right? How did this man become one flesh with his wife, and how did she become one flesh with him? By way of sex. That's how they became married. When you go into the book of Genesis, I believe that's the 29th chapter, going into the time of Jacob, right? How did Jacob marry Rachel and Leah? Did Jacob marry Rachel and Leah by way of a court's documentation. No, you know how he married them? He had to, in order for him to even marry them, he had to work for their father for, I believe, 7 years. After he worked for the father for 7 years, he gave the daughter unto the man. They had a ceremony. Then Jacob laid with his daughter, which was the daughter that he didn't want. He laid with her first because the father gave up his oldest daughter first unto Jacob. That was that was his tradition. That's how he did things. So he gave up Leah to Jacob first. Jacob laid with Leah. Leah became his wife. There was no court documents involved, man. There was no court documents involved. So you're going to be disobedient unto your husband until he decides to take you into a courtroom and say, look, I want this to be my wife, right? I want her to put on this ring. That's bugged out, man. That shit could end before it even begins. It'll end before it begins. The scriptures tell you, let the wife be obedient unto her husband. Again, in order for him to be your husband and in order for you to be his wife, y'all have to lie in that bed, have intercourse, and now y'all become one flesh. You're now joined unto each other through the spirit and the power of Yahweh Shema Shah. So y'all letting these women and these older women are part of leading you to destruction. And I just went into a video this morning talking on that, man. Speaking on those things, man. How you women are leading each other to destruction. You want to go into scriptures that talk about marriage? Go into Deuteronomy, the 22nd chapter. Go into the time of Jacob. I believe that was Genesis, the 29th chapter. Right? Go into scriptures that show you what marriage is. You go into Corinthians. I think it's, if I'm not mistaken, I think it's in Corinthians, the 14th chapter. No, it's not the 14th chapter. I think it's the 7th chapter. But the scriptures talk about a woman that is a virgin, right? And once he takes her virginity, she becomes his wife. So what the hell are you people getting this husband and wife shit from about the court documents, man? That's not in the scriptures whatsoever. We didn't the only time when we went to the Levites, right, during that process was to show the priest the tokens of her virginity. The tokens of her virginity is in Deuteronomy, the 22nd chapter, is when you lieth with her, you have sex with her, and the blood is on the white sheets. Then the blood is proof that she was a virgin and that you took her virginity and that you are now her husband and she is now your wife. That was part of the ceremony, man. That was part of the ceremony. So a lot of you don't know what the hell you talking about, especially you goddamn women, man. Especially you women, you listening to women that's giving you bad advice and you not going into the scriptures or speaking into your husband. Lord willing, your husband is Lord willing, the Lord is working with your husband to understand these things, but you're not speaking unto your husband about these things because you're supposed to learn from your husband. But if you don't learn from him, Lord willing, you come across men that's actually teaching the truth. So this whole right tradition in America of you getting the courts involved in your marriage is bullshit, man. That's just what it is. Scripture says, though I'm rude in speech, but not in knowledge. Right? So let me grab that real quick in Genesis, man. This is bugged out, man. This is what I'm talking about. You women are giving each other bad advice. Because y'all are destroyed. You're destroyed. Salakia. This is Genesis chapter 3, verse 16. Unto the woman, he said, I will greatly multiply thy sorrow and thy conception. And sorrow thou shalt bring forth children. right? And this is because of the punishment. I mean, this is because of the transgression of Eve and Adam. Is the reason why you suffer, or you go through your pains when you're giving birth to a child, is because of the disobedience of Eve and Adam, right? Salakia. So it says, unto the woman, he said, I will greatly multiply thy sorrow and thy consumption, and sorrow thou shalt bring forth children. It says, and thy desire shall be to thy husband, and he shall rule over thee. So what the hell do that mean? To rule over somebody, right? To rule over somebody. That means his word is the final word. What he says goes. Lord willing, he be of a man of the Lord and not destroyed. But his word, which is going to be used with wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, his word is it. How he walks is it. And you got to walk in the same path as him. So a lot of you women, man, y'all gone, man. Y'all gone. Y'all gone. And there's really no helping you, man. If the spirit ain't in you to see the truth, you're not gonna see it. You're gonna stay destroyed. Like I said, she have her way is a little different than the millennials and Gen Zers, but her advice, right, is off. You don't listen to your man until he decides to commit to you type. He has been committed. He's there. I'm pretty sure he works. I'm pretty sure he pays bills. He's already been committed as a husband, according to the scriptures. Right now, you want him to have you involved in the act or tradition of America, right? This is the mindset of a lot of women out there. Oh, I'm not gonna do nothing you want me to do until you commit to me. He already been committed. How much more committed can he be? Right? So let me grab this in a different translation. The NLV or the NIV, right? NIV says, to the woman he said, I will make your pains and childbearing very, very severe. Which, hey, that's gone. They broke that down perfect. Hey, like they say on the Street Fighter, perfect. That was perfect. That was broken down perfectly. Yeah, let me go into that one more time. It says to the woman he said, I will make your pains in childbearing very severe. It says, with painful labor you will give birth to children. Your desire will be for your husband, and he will rule over thee. And that's how order is kept. Order is kept by you following up under your men, not trying to create this equality agenda that these devils have going on here in America. But your man to be a leader and to be a leader over you. And you can't sit here and expect him to be the sole breadwinner in the family. You can't expect him to be the sole breadwinner, because that's probably what a lot of you women gonna think. Oh, well, he better be the sole breadwinner. No, he can't. Not in a society like this. The economy is not doing too well. He need help. I can easily go ahead and grab the book of Genesis. What is that? I believe it's a little bit up on the 3rd chapter, but the scripture says, I will make you a helpmeet. And I believe if you go in second Ezra, it says, I will make you a helpmeet like unto thyself. So you women are also here to help us, right? When needed. You're not just there to just fall back and chill. Kids are born, now you're just dealing with a baby that sleeps the majority of the time, wake up, and you breastfeed it, sleeps again. Then it gets to a certain age where it's in school, the majority of the day. But you think you just going through some difficult times. Not saying that it won't be a little difficult, but it ain't as difficult. And I can say that because I have 3. And I had to deal with my newborns as she have. So I'm experienced in it as well. And it's not that difficult. They sleep the majority of the time, right? When they start walking, they walk around, they doing their thing. And then they get tired, they sleeping. Then, you know, they get a little older, 5 years old, and then they in school. So you dealing with them for 4 years. The 5th year, they get to go to school. Now they in school. Some of the time. I believe it's 5 years old. Right? So there's order, man. There's order within the house. Right? So the woman, when it comes down to helping out financially, she helps financially. Read the book of Proverbs, the 31st chapter, about the virtuous woman that went out and sold linen and brought money back unto the house. Read that, man. Read that. So you will have from time to time where man is going to need help because of the difficult times that we are in. You can't expect a man to jump up and do all of this extra shit to you know, bring in loads and loads of fucking money, man. He get weared out just as well as you do. Working 6 days a week and maybe 12, 13, 14-hour days. Cause I used to work that when I first started this job, which I don't put the job on the videos, but as a, you know, like that, you know, but when I started this job, that's what I had to do, man. I was working 6 days a week. You know what I'm saying? I wake up 4 o'clock, 4:30 in the morning, 4 to 4:30, go to work, and I wouldn't get home until damn near 6:30. So I'm up when the sun is down, and I come back home when the sun is down. So I worked like that, man. And that shit puts a mental strain on you. And it puts a mental strain on you when you get into the house. So, you know what I'm saying? It's difficult for men as well, man. So, Salaki, what the hell they doing over here? Putting a tower up here? Salaki, I think they putting a tower up here. What is that? A cell tower? That's wild. But yeah, so again, man, you know, the scripture says to rule over thee, man. And what's happening is that these women are creating disorder and havoc because of this advice that they're giving each other. But I'm going to end it from there and say, Barakatah Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shah. Bahashim Rakaha Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of GMS. And salutations to you brothers out there that's doing